So what are some of the topics you would like to talk about?
Anything you want to talk about, Dad. This is all you.
It's all about me, huh? Well, I've been kind of concerned lately about what's been going on um, with the politics, the atmosphere that's going on right now. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube and Facebook from a variety of sources that are trying to get people more aware of what's going on with our government and how they're swindling us, how the banks are swindling us. So many things that the banks are doing that legally they are not supposed to, and people that try to resist them are summarily chastised, put in jail. They lose their jobs, they lose their savings, their income. And this is all done illegally, and because they're unaware of what they can do to safeguard themselves against it or to protect themselves from the banks, the authorities, who, by the way, are in the back pockets of the politicians, are taking advantage and putting people in jail right and left for basically trying to exercise their constitutional rights. There's a couple of videos that I would like to bring to public's attention and possibly put them on my YouTube channel, and hopefully start improving awareness of just how they're being used by the banks. We're nothing but cattle to them. Nobody cares. The big guys, the ones who are making the big money, they don't care what
Who are
happens
those
to
people
us.
that are making the big money, Dad? Specifically.
The banks.
But who are they specifically, though? Let them know. Let your audience know.
Well, I can't give specifics right now because I just can't give specifics right now, but I'd have to do the research. That's
No,
what I
what you
intend
know,
to do.
Dad. What you know. Tell us what you know.
Bank of America, Citibank, Citicorp, Wells Fargo, many of the big name banks are literally taking advantage of us for our mortgages. A lot of these mortgages are packaged and resold and put on Wall Street and sold as packages. And when that happens, a lot of people are unaware that they're no longer under any obligation to pay the organizations or banks that have purchased, those investors that have purchased those mortgage loans don't have any right to collect on them, because the original mortgage that the agreement that the buyer and the bank have had originally is no longer valid, because the buyer agreed to purchase from a builder who got the money from the bank, which, by the way, is illegal in itself, because the bank never actually put out any money in the first place. It's all electronic. There's no consideration there. It's in the air. Make an agreement to pay money back to the bank, and then that bank turns around and sells it to somebody else. So my concern here is the general public is unaware of how they can fight these banks that have purchased their loans. And problem is, when they do get a little bit of information, there's no legal authorities out there, no attorneys that want to tackle this. There are very few of them out there that do it and are successful about it, but they're under gag order not to make it public. Because if the public knew about it and they knew the laws, the banks would collapse. They would literally collapse, because they would no longer have the income of all these mortgages. Check it out. When you pay a mortgage payment, oh, it says, what, 2, 3, 4% interest? Excuse me, 3/4 of your payment is going to interest, no matter what they say the interest rate is. So what's the point in doing it? You're never going to get the damn thing paid off in your lifetime. If you got a 30-year loan and you're 50 years old, what are you going to be? 80 years old when you get the doggone thing paid off? You got one foot in the grave and the other one's slipping, and here comes the bank on your last 2 payments. You're in the hospital. You can't make your payments, so what do? They come in and foreclose on it. They have no right to foreclose. And we have video coverage that brings to light the various laws that prevent banks from foreclosing on properties. We have a couple of those. I want to review them tonight if we can. These videos I would like to put on YouTube, on my channel, and elaborate upon them a bit to try to instill in the public, that my viewers that see this, try to incite a little bit of interest in that area so that they can protect themselves. Mainly themselves. Don't even try to make it public knowledge, because somehow, some way, you're either going to disappear or they're going to shut you up. Because like I said, if this law, or absence of law, were to be made public and everybody knew about it, we'd have no more banks. We'd have no more money. Because according to what we call Federal Reserve, we only have about 3% actual circulating currency to what the bank actually has on its books. And what's on its books is pretty much in the air. It's air. It is non-existent. It was created out of thin air.
It's in computers.
Right, it's in computers, and it's created out of thin air. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to try to bring some attention to it on YouTube, and with this express purpose of trying to find lawyers or law firms that are well knowledgeable in this area, and get them to not make it public knowledge, but be available to people who seek them out. Because there's so many people right now that are in danger of losing their homes to foreclosure, and that many more that have already lost their homes to illegal foreclosure. It needs to be brought to light so that people have a defense. So I'm going to close at this point for now, but just know that I'm aware of this information, and there's a great deal more that I need to do to investigate it, study it, and like I said, make available to people who are following me on YouTube, make this information available to them. So I'm going to close for now, and just know where we're going with this, and hopefully I'll be able to help some of you out in some way, shape, or form, and at least encourage you to even do more investigation on your own. So signing off for now. Talk to you later.